Hey guys, it's Britt and welcome back to my channel. Today is Saturday, which means I'm coming out with a new recipe for you guys. If you're new here, my name is Brittany. I have lost over 70 pounds being whole food plant-based and have transformed my health in so many ways. I have my plant-based story, which you can check out above if you're interested in finding out the details on that. But I make whole food plant-based recipes that the entire family will love. From people who are not plant-based or just starting out, to people that have been doing this for a long time, kids, you know, aunts, uncles, guys, whoever in your life you'd like to make healthy and share a plant-based meal with them, this is the place to be. So today's recipe serves 2 people, which I'm only one of 2 people in our family right now. So I really like smaller recipes sometimes just because, you know, having a ton of leftovers is great, but it's kind of nice, especially for desserts, to have a little bit of smaller quantities so it's not overwhelmingly, you know, I could sit down and eat enough for a couple people. So this recipe is perfect. If you're focused on weight loss, this might be a great choice for you. And it's with a couple different ingredients that you might have not thought will go well together. So I'm really excited to share it with you today. All right, so you don't have to take notes. If you look down below in the show notes, I post the recipe. You scroll down just a little bit and you'll see it all written out. But I also have it on our website where you can print out the PDF as well as a Microsoft document and have it on the go. I typically even print out our own recipes and stick them on the refrigerator or have a binder, and it's almost like having a little book or ebook if you have it on your computer. So really accessible and nice way to have the recipes. So we're gonna get into it. It's super easy for you guys. I've also added grams to our recipe, so if you head over to our website or down below, you'll see that as well. All right, so I have 1.5 cups of cooked Japanese sweet potatoes. Now, when I get my sweet potatoes, I have one sitting off camera. Okay, so this guy came from my local co-op. You also can find them at Trader Joe's. I've seen them at Whole Foods. Asian markets sometimes will have it, but it's called a Japanese sweet potato. The inside of the potato is yellow, which you can see here. But all I do for this recipe is I take it, I poke lots of holes in it with a sharp knife, I put it into my oven, and I'm gonna roast it. So I roast this generally around 400 degrees for, depending on the size of your potato, it could be 40 minutes to an hour. But you just want it to get nice and ooey and gooey and caramelized and soft to touch. So this works best if you roast your sweet potato because, again, it gets a beautiful sweet flavor, but you can also cook a potato lots of different ways if you'd like. All you have to do for this recipe is have the end product that's cooked, and for this one, we're gonna remove the skins. So once it's cooked, you can take off the skins. The inside is what we need. Now, I get lots of questions on, can I use a regular sweet potato? I can't find a Japanese one. Certainly. For all of our recipes, you can always use just a regular sweet potato that you can find, or any sweet potato. There's Hana yams, there's so many different kinds, there's purple ones, any of them, as long as it's not a regular potato, it's a sweet potato, it'll work. The only thing I will say is it's gonna change the coloring for sure. So if you use an orange one, it'll definitely be orange. It won't be yellow for our lemon mousse. But it also slightly changes the flavor. Not a ton that I wouldn't make it if that's the only thing I can find. I do like the Japanese sweet potatoes if you can find it because they are a little bit sweeter in taste and they work amazing in recipes like this one. So if you can find a Japanese sweet potato, use it. If not, yes, you can use a regular one. Okay, so 1.5 cups cooked. You can pack it into your cup. I have the grams, so if you like the weighted version, check out the recipe down below. That's what we use. Generally, it's around like 1.5 medium sweet potatoes, I find. Depends on how big yours are. Sometimes I buy them and they're massive. Sometimes they're a little bit smaller. Okay, so I have my Japanese cooked sweet potatoes without the skin. Put that in a high-speed blender, okay? Really easy recipe. You can have these cooked ahead of time and make this up. This recipe freezes great. You could triple this recipe and make it a pie filling or do like a million other things to it. So we're just gonna make little parfait kind of mousse cups today, but keep this in mind if you ever need a very beautifully, I like to say that this brightens up everything. This is a great summer recipe, but also like right now it's January, it's super cold here in Pittsburgh, it's gray, and this just like lightens everything up. We have a chocolate pudding recipe, which is great and delicious, but I actually like that this is kind of tart and bright, so a different take on it. Okay, back to the recipe. All right, for our liquid, I have half of a cup of a plant milk unsweetened. That's gonna help the blender out. I also have 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now you can easily make this lime and just use lime juice or, you know, play around with it, but we love the lemon brightness of it. I have 3 pitted dates. Now these are medjool dates, so they are a little bit larger than some of the other dates that you might find. All of our recipes, I always use medjool dates. They're my favorite. Just make sure you take the pits out. And 3 of them sweeten it perfectly for me. If you're just starting to be plant-based, you might want to play around with the sweetness, but again, this works perfect. Start with 3 and see what you like. And then that's it for the main part. We're gonna blend this until all those pits are really broken up, until everything becomes nice and thick. It'll be nice and yellow, which is fantastic for our lemon mousse. And then I like to pair this with whichever fresh fruit, you know, you'd like. I'm calling this lemon blueberry. You know, I have blueberries here, but you can do lemon raspberry, lemon blackberry. You could put some lemon zest on top and make it extra lemony. You can do whatever you'd like for fruit. Mixed berries works great. I do like lemon blueberry go well together. Now, it is January, so if you can't find fresh blueberries, like these look pretty sad compared to what I get in the summer, you can use frozen fruit that you just thawed. I would just drain off any excess liquid. Now, you can, of course, blend it into this if you'd want, but it will change the color, just as a heads up. If you want it to be nice and lemon colored, you know, I like to kind of layer our fruit in and have it in with each bite. So I'm gonna blend this. I'll see you guys when we assemble. The other thing too about having plant-based desserts, or really any desserts, doesn't have to be plant-based, but what I always do when you're, you know, trying to lose weight, or just in general, like if you're sharing plant-based with your family who may not be, I always like to put it in kind of a fancy cup. So, you know, you can go to a thrift store and find some cocktail cups, and they're great for dessert and serving. So I have 2 of my favorite here. I have a wine glass, even though I don't drink wine, but it's great for these kind of parfait and puddings and all of that to make it a little bit fancier. So find your favorite fancy cups and we're gonna assemble. It's really a no-brainer of a recipe because it takes no time at all. It's beautiful. It's so deliciously creamy. It's you know, low in calories compared to other plant-based desserts, and it just brightens up everything. So if you are kind of dreading winter, or if you're watching this during the summertime, give this one a try. I promise you, if you love lemons, this is the recipe for you to make. All right, I'll see you guys when it blends. All right, so once everything is blended, it looks and smells so good. You can taste it at this point and see if you need to add any extra dates. I find, again, 3 is really perfect. And again, this makes 2 servings, so it's not going to make a huge amount, but you can easily double the recipe if you want extra. Such a beautiful yellow color. And if you've never tried a Japanese sweet potato, I highly recommend you do so. Look for them at the store next time you go. And if you can find them, it's really such a great treat. It's like one of my top favorite foods that I've discovered being whole food plant-based. I probably would have never picked one up without hearing how good they are. once you have your delicious lemon mousse, again, grab a fancy glass. And I like to just kind of layer the fresh fruit. So I'm using blueberries. You could use whatever you'd like. Put some at the bottom. Add some of the mousse, or pudding, or whatever you want to call it. It's just creamy and delicious. I like to do a layer of blueberries, and then let's top it with a little bit more. Again, this makes 2 servings, so it's perfect for the 2 of you, or for you in an extra day. Top with some blueberries, and you have a delicious, creamy, bright, healthy dessert that whoever you serve this to is going to love. I already know it's good because I have made this a million times, but it's just so delicious. You can definitely add a little bit of lemon zest for an extra pop of lemon, but we love it. So I hope you give this recipe a try. Make sure you're subscribed. I make whole food plant-based recipes every week, multiple times a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays starting now. That's our new schedule. And leave us a comment if you try this, if it looks good to you, if you make it, what fruit you put in it. I'd love to know. I'll see you guys real soon for the next one. Thanks so much. Check out the show notes down below so you can get the printable PDF on our website and so you don't miss anything that we have coming out. See you guys real soon. Bye.